When was the last time you gave yourself permission to believe that you were worthy of peace? Peace with money, with love, and within yourself. Because if you're watching this, I know one thing. You're not here by accident. You've been carrying stories, maybe your whole entire life, about who you are, what you're worth, and what you can have. Stories passed down by family, shaped by trauma, reinforced by mistakes. But today, that story ends and a new one begins. This is part 4 of Money, Love, Self, the Healing series. And today, we are rewriting your money story from struggle and survival to peace, abundance, and alignment. Because the fact of the matter is, you're not just here to break generational curses, you're here to create a new legacy. So I want to bring this whole series full circle. In part 1, we started with awareness. We uncovered how financial trauma starts from childhood patterns, emotional wounds, and repeated struggle that taught us to fear, avoid, or worship money. We said the root definitely matters and that you can't fix what you won't face. And then in part 2, we turned ourselves inward. We talked about healing your relationship with yourself, rebuilding trust, speaking to yourself with compassion, and identifying beliefs like, I'm not good with money, or saying things like, I'll never get ahead. We decided that we were going to challenge those thoughts. We called them lies at the end of the day because that's exactly what they were. And then in part 3, we looked at how all of this affects our relationships, how unhealed money trauma shows up as silence, control, resentment, or avoidance between partners, and how to begin healing together by really bringing compassion into the conversation and into our love relationship. Now, in this final part 4, we do the most important thing of all. We release the old story and we rewrite a new one. Your money story is the internal script playing within your mind that tells you what you can earn, what you can have, what you should expect, and frankly, what you deserve. So let's start by talking about examples of limiting money stories. So we say things to ourselves like, money is hard to make, I always mess up when I get money, people like me don't get rich, if I'm successful, I'll lose love, or saying something like, debt is just a part of life. I know these money stories that plague us and play in our minds over and over again because I lived it, because this is the language, these are the thoughts that I constantly processed in my head when it came to my mindset and my relationship with money. Your story is not your truth. It's a program you've been running and you get to rewrite it starting today. What were you taught about money that you now know isn't true? Whose voice do you hear in your head when you feel financial shame or fear? And what story are you tired of telling yourself every time you open a bank app? So we're going to talk about some power steps. Step 1 is you have to acknowledge and embrace your old story. So the reason why it's important is because we cannot pretend like the old story never existed. We can't cover it up. We don't need to sit in denial and avoidance about our stories. We have to accept it. Denial won't heal you, but the truth will. And that means saying, yes, this is my story. This was how I survived, but I am choosing something different now. You are not weak because you struggled. You are powerful. You are powerful because you took the chance. You decided to start healing. You have to forgive those versions of yourself because they got us here. So I want to do a meditation with you. Close your eyes. Place your hand on your heart. And I want you to say, I forgive myself. I release the shame. I honor the version of me who didn't know better, and I welcome the version of me who's ready to thrive. You cannot hate the old you and heal her or him at the same time. You must make peace before you create your power. I want you to take a deep breath. I want you to pull it in with as much air as possible and hold it for 3 seconds and then breathe out. I want you to do that 3 times when you're doing this exercise. I want you to think about when you are breathing out that you are releasing the fear, releasing the scarcity mindset, releasing the shame, releasing the blame so that you can really start to forgive yourself. Step 3. I want you to now create the new narrative. So in your journal, I want you to write your new story. I am safe with money. I am worthy of overflow. I attract peace and opportunity. I am healing and rising. I want you to journal something like, my name is Tamoa. My new story is that I will create all of the financial abundance that I need. I am safe. I am financially free. I am whole. I am not living in any more trauma, but I am living in healing. I am living in peace. I am living in joy. And I have accepted that I have a great relationship with money. This becomes your new language. I want you to say it daily. I want you to whisper it when you're afraid. I want you to shout it when you feel bold. This is who you are now. I want you to set alarms on your phone. I have alarms set as reminders to myself of the constant healing journey when it comes to my financial trauma, when it comes to things that I've been through in my life. I have little alarms with words, with affirmations, with how much money I see myself making this month, next week, in a day, in a year, 10 years from now. I have to set these reminders to always be able to reshift and refocus my mindset during the day, because we need those little reminders. Things happen all day long, and we want to make sure that we don't continue to bring those negative old mindsets in play, and that we want to constantly have these reminders so that it allows us to continue to move through our journey, to heal through our journey, and to get to the next level when it comes to our money mindset. Step 4, I want you to embody all of this with aligned habits. So this is not just your mindset. Remember, it's your identity. Your new story must move into your new behavior. I want you to start a daily 2-minute abundance visualization. I want you to create a money peace playlist and to journal to do this weekly. So you're going to track your money wins. You're going to have gratitude every day for everything you have. You're going to start automating some savings, even if it's $5 a week. You're going to talk about money with courage. And you're going to set boundaries with spending, and you're going to set boundaries in your relationships with others when it comes to money. You're going to use powerful language that make you feel wealthy, that make you feel rich. But we're not just talking about money. We're talking about really embodying who you are and how you see yourself. Healing isn't just about what you believe. It's what you do repeatedly every single day. I want to talk about what abundance really means. I was listening to one of my online mentors, Myron Golden, the other day, and he was talking about how much he hates being poor. He talked about growing up poor. He talked about when his wife was pregnant with their first child and how the water was off, the electricity was off. And he talked about feeling stuck. He talked about basically feeling like he had no other options. And he said, that's the thing about poverty. You feel like you don't have any other options. And he said there was no one around him that could even help him out of his situation because they were going through those situations as well. I remember being in debt, crying, and, doing the best that I could to raise babies while being so stressed about paying the bills because it wasn't enough there. I couldn't stand the feeling again of not having options, of feeling stuck, of feeling imprisoned in my own mind and my own cycle of financial worry. You have to remember that when we talk about abundance, it's not just about wealth, it's about safety, it's about peace, it's about freedom from panic. It is to have space and breathe. It is about knowing deep down in your bones that you are no longer stuck in survival mode. So when I talked about remembering crying and being stressed and, having two babies and wanting to figure out how we were going to keep the lights on, I wasn't lazy. I wasn't reckless. I wasn't just tired. And I was trapped in a story that I didn't know that I could actually rewrite and change. I want us to do another visualization. So I want you to close your eyes. I want you to imagine your abundant self waking up, the peace, the freedom, the choices, the generosity, the softness, the strength that you, not someday, but today starts now, that you are making a decision to believe in yourself again and to know that this peace, this feeling that you want to have of not feeling stuck and healed, it's here. Now that you've faced the trauma and you started doing the internal work, now it's time to step into your new season. In this final episode, we are rewriting this story, we are reclaiming your power, and we are walking into abundance with intention. You are allowed to outgrow the version of you who survived. You are allowed to walk in peace. You are allowed to prosper in full. Yes, I appreciate you so much because guess what? You made it to the end of this series, but really you made it to your new beginning. I want you to drop your new money story in the comments. Start with I am and say it like you believe it. I am the possibility of generational wealth for my children, for my children's children, for my children's children's children. I am a collector of money. Money is my friend. Money is a tool so that I can use to have the financial abundance that I know I deserve. And if this series touched you, I want you to go back and rewatch it. Do the breathing exercises, the meditations, the affirmations. Make sure you're journaling and really being intentional about rewriting your story and healing from your financial trauma. I want you to share this with someone who you know needs it and believes that they deserve another chance at this. Make sure that you like this video, subscribe to our channel, and ring that bell so that you don't miss anything. This is just the beginning of a new season for you, and I want you to know that I am here for you every single step. This is your new beginning. I see you. I'm proud of you, and I am walking with you. And remember, you are your greatest value. You are your greatest asset. Take care.